certain thoughts that appeal to us. And so we get to look at those thoughts, and I've written some words down here. And this is the dividing line. This is the dividing line between you as walking around as a supercilious human being or some sort of honorable, conscious being moving forward on the planet. The words I've written down are harmony, peace, love, anger, lust, fear, guilt, revenge, and I suppose I could do a few others. I think there's no question in my mind that there's, in my mind at least, and as you look at it, that you will think that there are many thoughts that you harbor out of anger. Something comes up and you're angry about something, and this train of thoughts will go on. Train of thoughts happens out of lust. A train of thoughts happens out of fear. And I think that Doctor pointed out anxiety and fear are the two biggest troublemakers that we have. A long list of thoughts, gee, did I say guilt? Happens as a result of guilt. And we know, at least in two of the great religions, how guilt has been instilled upon the children generation after generation. And certainly in certain great religions, revenge is a big motivating factor. It's revenge of keeping things, the scales even, so to speak. And as we look at the planet today, I wonder how many thoughts and what segment of the population, for the majority of the time, thinks in anger, lust, fear, guilt, and revenge, and what segment of the population thinks in terms of harmony, peace, and love. And that is the dividing line of who and what you become as a person. Because I really don't care what your reasoning process is to think in terms of the negative aspects. Whether you're in Christianity or somewhere else, Christianity tells us about the 7 deadly sins, and anger, lust, gluttony, all of those things are all part of it. And if they're the 7 deadly sins, then no matter how many times we rationalize it, it just doesn't do us any good or anyone else to think thoughts that the motivating factor are anger. No matter how justified we feel that we are. There's a wonderful piece from the, Bhagavad Gita? Maybe that's how you pronounce it, Bhagavad Gita. At any rate, Lord Krishna was sent to war with peace in his heart. He didn't bear anger or anything else toward the other side. In fact, he wanted it to be something else, but they just wouldn't allow it to happen. So having done everything that he could do, he went forward with peace in his heart. And sometimes we have to do the same thing, but the key factor is peace in our hearts. So we have an idea that comes up. We are either going to pursue that idea out of emotion or desire. That's usually what it is. And remember, desire has, or emotion, covers all of those things. Anger, lust, fear, guilt, revenge. They're all part of the desire body. If we pursue it out of emotion or desire, we're operating on the lower level, and we're going to perpetuate things of a lower nature. It's still part of who and what we are, but we're going to perpetuate that. Every now and then we get a sparkling idea that we discount with a thing called doubt. I don't think I can do that. It's beyond me. I don't have the money. I don't have the troops I need. I don't have this. I don't have that. And there's a little thing called faith that will bring us forward along that path of accomplishing something worthwhile. We may start out with the inability to do something, or what we think is the inability, and that we know with God all things are possible, and that within us, and as our song said today, it's no secret what God can do. If we allow that faith to be kindled within us to move forward, we can choose an idea that is extraordinary and something we ordinarily wouldn't follow. And with faith to kindle it, we can move to the next point, and the next points are knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But the key thing that I want us all to look at is it starts every moment, every second of every day, and we're told that God only wants one moment of our time, and that moment is now. I am absolutely certain, because of events and situations in my life that I've been involved with on more than one occasion, that faith carries us from an idea to the point of manifesting that idea and to arriving at something called truth. And once you have truth, there is no power greater than that. And that's the end of the road that we travel whenever we choose any worthwhile idea. The end of the road is truth. And that's because the beginning of the road was truth. That idea was founded in truth, and it came to us through mind, and its end result is the manifestation of truth. And it isn't manifest just because we have the idea. 1,000 people can have the same idea at the same time, and one follows the path, and it becomes manifest. And they have established truth on the physical plane. And the others, the idea passed and is gone, swallowed up into 60,000 other ideas, and never brought forth. So as we sit here today, and every moment of our lives, our goal is first of all to reduce the number of ideas that we have. So there's not 60,000, so that there's 5 or 10,000, and I'm saying make it down to hold yourself into 3 or 4 thoughts. It's what Jesus was able to do. All the rest follows. That is an awesome thing to ask. How do you in your lives in this mechanized world keep yourself focused and trained on a handful of thoughts, 3, 4, 5, when everyone else is running around with thousands of them? How do you do that? And you're all well educated enough to know as to what are the thoughts that you're going to choose. You get to choose the handful of thoughts. In fact, what's running through my mind at the moment as I spend some time on this is someone talked about the coming of the 5. And in some places that's known as the coming of God. So are there 5 thoughts that you could hold throughout the day that would mark the coming of God, fully manifest within your being, that the Christ pours forth? Because it's the only way for that to happen. The rest are just things that happen and that you go through. So the thought process is up to you, and the choice is up to you. So every day on a daily basis, you get to see the thoughts and look at them and make a decision whether you're going to maintain them. And some are great to maintain, and some are not so great. And you get to choose them as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you know what you're setting forth. So this is as far as I've come on this subject at the moment, but I guess what? I think we're going to be here again. And it's a theme that's unfolding in my mind, and not that it hasn't been there in the past, but something has kicked it into operation, and it has to do with part of what I am living and going through at the moment. And it has rekindled something and created what I call within me an awakening. And so that is being shared at this moment. And I will continue that. As for me, the end result of this is truth. And it's something we all want. We are all truth seekers.